You just walked away from a toxic relationship with a narcissist, determined to embrace the no-contact rule? Amazing! But did you know that behind the silence, the narcissist is harboring secret hopes and dark schemes? They hope to see you crumble, hope for you to come crawling back, hope for you to prove that they still hold power over you. They believe you can't live without them, that you'll soon realize your mistake and come crawling back. But is that really the truth? Does the narcissist truly win when you disappear from their life? Let's delve into the hidden corners of their mind to uncover the hopes, schemes, and even the hidden fears they grapple with as you commit to the no-contact phase. Phase 1. They believe you'll come back. When you bravely step away from the game, the narcissist will respond with ridiculous stubbornness. Their distorted pride convinces them that they're the master of the game, that you will inevitably return, kneeling at their feet. In their contemptuous eyes, you're nothing more than a weak creature, easily wounded by your own genuine emotions. They mock compassion and empathy, the highest human virtues. They are essentially the two greatest weaknesses of human nature. They will never grasp enough to accept that it is fine. They wait calmly, neither worried nor concerned. Your departure? To them it's just an impulsive act, a meaningless struggle before you inevitably submit to them again. They aim to teach you a lesson, a bitter, tear-filled lesson about betrayal and punishment. They stay silent, coldly watching, waiting for you to become physically and emotionally exhausted and come begging for forgiveness. They believe you'll pay dearly for your defiance. That's why, when you decide to enter the no-contact zone, you must be absolutely serious and resolute. Cut all ties completely, end things decisively. Disappear from their life and from this toxic relationship. While you may have shared some beautiful moments, they've been tarnished by lies and harm. A relationship lacking trust is like a castle built on sand, fragile and bound to collapse. You deserve a life of peace and happiness, not one filled with fear and doubt. I understand that cutting off contact isn't easy, especially if you still have feelings for them. It's like going through withdrawal, painful and challenging. You might feel guilt, shame, regret, confusion, or loneliness. There will be times when you long for the narcissist's attention, but remember, narcissists never change. Allowing them to overstep your boundaries again will only make things worse. Once they think they've regained you, they'll quickly revert to their true selves. For them, love is merely a conquest, and you are nothing more than a trophy, a toy to satisfy their endless greed. You can't heal wounds in the very environment that caused them. It's like an alcoholic needing to avoid bottles of liquor. Do you see what I mean? And if you've experienced the ups and downs of breaking up with a narcissist, don't hesitate to share your story with us. Every experience is a valuable lesson, helping us better understand ourselves and toxic relationships. Phase 2. They watch you on social media. During this stage, don't be surprised if you suddenly receive friend requests from unfamiliar accounts or notice a sudden spike in your follow count. The narcissist is lurking in the shadows, creating fake profiles or even borrowing mutual friends' accounts to keep track of your every move. Every post, comment and like doesn't escape their hawk eyes. They crave to know what you're doing, thinking, feeling, whether you're dating someone new, and most importantly, whether you've truly escaped the pain they caused. I understand that after leaving the suffocating relationship you might still have lingering feelings, or a faint hope that time might change them. Perhaps that's why you leave a door slightly open, like a Facebook page or another channel of communication. But please be extremely cautious. As I've shared before, cutting off contact with a narcissist is crucial. No contact doesn't just mean temporary silence, it means vanishing entirely from their reach. Block all connections, from mutual friends and phone numbers to email addresses and any other form of contact. Even the slightest oversight can allow the narcissist to infiltrate your life like a toxic virus. After the relationship ends, the narcissist will sniff around, looking for the easiest prey among their exes to hoover. They don't truly want to come back. They just want to test the waters, checking to see if they still have influence over you, like a cheap, self-indulgent game. Social media is their favorite playground, so block them immediately. It's the best way to protect your information and thwart their manipulative hoover attempts. Remember, hoovering isn't a sign of love. It's a sophisticated form of manipulation by a narcissist. Someone who truly loves you would never hurt you and then suddenly reappear as if nothing happened. Phase 3. They hoover you. Once the narcissist has gathered enough information about you via social media, they will begin setting their trap, plotting how to suck you back into their orbit. They will deploy cunning strategies, approaching you in various ways, both direct and indirect. Deep down, they believe that merely making contact with you ensures a 50% chance of success. This confidence stems from their masterful manipulation skills, their theatrical abilities, and most importantly, their knack for exploiting your compassion. They still see you as a naive victim, someone who loves them unconditionally, despite the damage they've caused. Don't be surprised if one day you receive a lengthy email, 5 pages filled with flowery language explaining past misunderstandings. Or perhaps they'll pretend to offer you closure, wrapping the relationship in a neat bow. I know we can't be together anymore, but I still love you deeply. I don't want to lose you entirely. Can we just be friends? The words drip like honey, making your heart waver. Have they truly changed? Is their love still there, simply suppressed by circumstance? But stay sharp. Don't let emotions cloud your judgment. Behind their pitiful facade and sweet words, is there a hidden, sinister agenda? Are they genuinely remorseful and seeking friendship? Or are they merely seeking a way to worm their way back into your life and manipulate you all over again? You might also find yourself agreeing to meet them after receiving a message like, "I just want to see you one last time to apologize." Confident in your own strength, you believe you're immune to their toxicity, that you're strong enough to face them one final time and hear their belated repentance. But alas, you're mistaken. A narcissist is like a bloodthirsty demon. Give them a drop of pity or the faintest glimmer of hope, and they'll cling to you relentlessly, refusing to let go. The door you cracked open becomes to them an irresistible invitation. They'll stop at nothing to break it down, flood back into your life, and sow further pain and despair. Stay vigilant. Don't let fleeting emotions overshadow reason. Ask yourself, why didn't they recognize their mistakes when you were still together? When you loved them and forgave them time and again? What meaning does their belated apology hold when you've already decided to leave, when your heart is still bleeding? Could it all be a cheap performance, a trap designed to manipulate you and satisfy their unquenchable thirst for control? Phase 4. They react violently if you move on. When the narcissist discovers that you found new happiness with someone else, jealousy ignites within them like a wildfire, consuming all reason. They can't tolerate the idea that you, the prey that once fueled their insatiable ego, now belongs to someone else. Their rage isn't rooted in love, but in selfish possession and a bruised ego. In their distorted worldview, they haven't just lost a supply, but feel humiliated seeing you happy without them. Fueled by anger and envy, they morph into dangerous monsters, willing to use any vile tactics to destroy your budding happiness. In the shadows, they watch your smiling photos with your new partner, their face contorted in fury. A single malicious thought festers in their mind. I must drag you back, I must ruin your joy. Armed with their devious nature and masterful manipulation skills, they begin their assault. A threatening message might arrive laced with dark words like a curse. They won't hesitate to weaponize private photos or videos of you, using them as blackmail to instill fear and force compliance. Their goal isn't just to frighten you, but to tarnish your reputation and fracture the trust your new partner has in you. But don't be lulled into a false sense of security if the narcissist seems to let you go. 5 years, 10 years, even 20 years later, when their life hits a rough patch and their new supply runs dry, they'll circle back to you. They'll sniff around, stalking, observing, searching for any vulnerability in your life. If you show any sign of weakness, singleness, or widowhood, they'll pounce on the opportunity, reaching out to drag you back into their toxic vortex. To a narcissist, there's no such thing as closure or goodbye. In their mind, they are the center of the universe, the sole player in the game of their life. They distort reality, creating illusions for both you and themselves, bending everything around them to serve their colossal ego. They're like chameleons, constantly shifting colors to adapt to their surroundings. Phase 5. They manipulate others' perception of you. When the narcissist realizes they can't pull you back into their toxic orbit on their own, they won't give up. They'll deploy their flying monkeys, individuals manipulated into becoming unwitting allies in the narcissist's power play. Tragically, these people might include your once close friends or even family members. These individuals, now standing on the opposite side, become unwitting pawns in the narcissist's game. The flying monkeys often don't realize they're being used. They're brainwashed by the narcissist's lies, wrapped in the guise of heartfelt confessions or well-intentioned concerns. The narcissist skillfully paints themselves as a suffering victim, while portraying you as selfish, cold-hearted, or even treacherous. These stories aren't just harmless complaints. They are poisoned arrows cloaked in sugar aimed directly at your reputation and image. The narcissist will create a dramatic narrative in which you play the villain, the one who hurt them, the one who cannot be trusted. This distorted picture gradually convinces those around you, shaking the trust they once had in you. At first, your friends might simply ask puzzling questions or act hesitantly, but over time you'll notice them growing distant, even turning against you. Precious relationships you've cherished may begin to fracture, sometimes beyond repair. The most painful part is that you don't just lose a romantic partner or a toxic relationship, you also see other relationships in your life poisoned and destroyed by the narcissist's manipulation. Every conversation twisted, every smear campaign spread, all of it designed to isolate you and make you easier to control. The flying monkeys are not just tools of destruction, but symbols of how far the narcissist will go to maintain power and control in your life. Phase 6. They flaunt their new supply to provoke you. Then the curtain rises on their next act. The narcissist will publicly showcase their new supply, flaunting a fake happiness to provoke you. Don't be fooled into thinking they just found this source. In reality, narcissists often have backup supplies waiting in the wings, even while still in a relationship with you. Now that you've escaped their web, they simply move on to the next victim. Their public display of the new supply serves two purposes: to feed their insatiable ego with attention and admiration, and to wound you deeply. It's a poisoned dart aimed to stir jealousy, sadness, and self-doubt within you. On social media, they'll perform their happiness with their new supply. Extravagant trips, expensive gifts, passionate declarations of love. All of it carefully curated to make you wonder, did I make a mistake by leaving them? Don't be shocked if they suddenly get engaged or married to the new supply shortly after your breakup. This is a classic tactic to provoke you, making you feel discarded and brutally replaced. But remember, social media is just a stage where the narcissist plays their games. Behind the shiny photos and sweet words lies an empty soul desperately trying to fill a void with lies. The harder they try to convince the world of their happiness, the more it reveals their underlying misery. Stay grounded and see things for what they are. If someone is truly happy, do they need to perform it for others to see? Don't let yourself get drawn into their game. Stay strong, trust in yourself, and keep moving forward. True happiness doesn't need validation from others. It grows quietly and authentically. The life you deserve is waiting for you, free from manipulation, control, and the theatrics of the narcissist. Keep walking your path, and you'll find real peace and joy ahead. Phase 7. They hope you live in regret for leaving them. Despite the countless pain and suffering they've inflicted, the narcissist desperately hopes that you live in perpetual guilt and regret over leaving them. To them, your pain isn't just a natural consequence, but something they actively try to sustain as a form of personal gratification. While they themselves are incapable of true remorse or empathy, they derive twisted pleasure from seeing you consumed by despair, as it reaffirms their power and control. In their distorted view, you've wronged them, you've betrayed or abandoned them in a heartless manner. With their oversized ego and unbounded arrogance, they imagine scenarios where you come crawling back, begging for a second chance. They don't just want you to feel remorse. They want you to feel it so deeply that you willingly return to them, pleading for forgiveness, as if it's the only way to make amends. However, this yearning doesn't stem from love, sincerity, or a desire to mend the relationship. Instead, it's rooted in their insatiable need for power and control. The narcissist doesn't need your love, they need your submission, dependence, and the sense that they still wield complete dominance over you. For them, your return isn't about rebuilding a healthy bond. It's about proving their ultimate victory. They want to demonstrate that no matter what they do, be it abuse, manipulation, or betrayal, they can always pull you back into their toxic web. It's not reconciliation, it's conquest. In their eyes, your return isn't a sign of mutual rebuilding, but rather evidence of their ability to exert control and dominate you once more. They seek you not for affection, but to bolster their grandiose ego and sense of superiority. Remember, any guilt or regret you feel isn't something you owe to them. It's a manipulation they've fostered to weaken you. You don't need to return, apologize, or plead, because your worth isn't defined by their power games. Hold on to your dignity and step out of the toxic spiral to reclaim your peace. Phase 8. They hope you'll return to them. Even though the narcissist may outwardly appear cold, indifferent, or even cruel, deep within their conflicted and wounded heart lies a burning desire, a faint hope that you'll come back to them. It's a smoldering craving, much like a moth drawn to a flame, heedless of danger or pain. But don't let this fool you. Their desire for your return doesn't come from genuine love or regret for their wrongdoings. It's fueled by their massive ego and fragile sense of self-worth. For a narcissist, your return is like a potent drug. It soothes their wounded pride, restores their sense of power, and reinforces the carefully constructed image of themselves they cannot bear to see tarnished. They don't love you in the way a sincere person does. They love the sense of victory and control they regain when you return. To them, your return means admitting you were wrong, that you cannot live without them. It's a testament to their superiority and absolute power. They revel in the feeling of triumph, basking in the delusion that they still hold the key card in your life. Your return isn't a chance to rebuild the relationship, but a way for them to reaffirm their ability to manipulate and control you like a puppet on a string. The narcissist might spin fantasies of a brighter future together, using sweet words like honey to lull you into an illusion. They'll act caring, attentive, and promise to change, pledging to rebuild happiness with you. But beneath this polished facade lies the same scheming, manipulated individual. They haven't changed. They've simply recalibrated their tactics to regain control. If you allow yourself to be drawn back in, it only means walking willingly into the same cycle of torment once again. You'll face continued psychological games, subtle manipulations, and relentless emotional harm. A narcissist doesn't care about your feelings or happiness. Their sole concern is maintaining power and control over you. Don't be swayed by temporary gestures or sweet promises. Returning to a narcissist is stepping back into a never-ending spiral of pain where you lose more of yourself each time. Be courageous and step out of their shadow. Let go of illusions, sever all ties, and move towards the light of freedom, a future where you are genuinely loved, respected, and cherished. You deserve true happiness. A happiness that will never be found while you remain entangled with a narcissist. When you decide to implement the no-contact rule, it marks a crucial step toward reclaiming control over your life and breaking free from the toxic cycle of the narcissist. But remember, this doesn't mean the narcissist will give up easily. They will hope you waver, lose patience, or feel lonely enough to break the boundaries yourself. Their expectations are not rooted in love, but in their need for control and power to sustain their inflated ego. However, it's essential that you remain steadfast. No contact is not just about severing ties with the narcissist. It's about giving yourself the chance to heal and rebuild your life in the way you deserve. It's a journey toward regaining your freedom and peace. Always remember, you are stronger than you think. You deserve a future free from manipulation, free from control, and filled with genuine happiness. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and share your thoughts in the comments section. I'd love to hear your story and learn about your journey. Keep moving forward with determination and strength. You've got this. See you in the next video.